Hello and welcome back to LTC Heroes Live by Experience Care. We are streaming at LeadingAge Nebraska in Kearney. It's the convention, the 2023. Today I'm blessed because I'm talking to the CEO and president of LeadingAge Nebraska, Kierstin Reed. Kierstin, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you so much for being here.
Kierstin, this convention has been great, and I'm only halfway through it. You've introduced me to some amazing caregivers in Nebraska.
We have amazing members here, so we're very thankful for them.
I think we're going to talk about a lot of things, but the first thing that I want to talk about is your initiation story into long-term care. Why, when they approached you and said, hey, we need you to take on this important association, it's going to be difficult, it's hard to understand this industry, it's an uphill battle, reimbursements problem will never stop. Why did you accept this as a human being?
That's a great question. My initiation story. So I think my earliest memory of long-term care or nursing homes, as I knew it in the day, was when I was in Girl Scouts. So we would go into the nursing homes and we would do activities. And I thought, this is a really cool place to be. Other people didn't really like it so much, but I really liked being in there. And I was like, man, these people get to be the captain of the fun ship. They get to do all these things, and people were really engaged. So it was a good experience for me, and I think that kind of set the tone. Didn't end up going into long-term care in that aspect with older adults. I actually ended up going in and working with home and community-based services for people with disabilities. And so worked with lots of adults, watched them age, helped them through that process. That exposed me to people transitioning into assisted living and long-term care facilities, hospice providers, you name it. And I felt like it was time for the next chapter in my life, and luckily was able to take on the position at LeadingAge.
I have a question for you about your community here at the convention.
Yeah.
As you know, I've been to a lot of conventions. I can't remember who introduced us, but each community is different. How would you describe your community, its uniqueness, your people that fight for your guys' issues?
Yeah. As far as like our membership here?
Yeah, the way that people talk, the way that they embrace, the way that they see each other in the morning.
It's very powerful, isn't it? Yeah. So LeadingAge members in Nebraska are pretty tight-knit. So even though we have a very large state, several of them get together at this conference every year. And so they know each other, they trust each other. And that's what LeadingAge is all about. They want to be the trusted voice for aging services, and really to make sure that our members have the most up-to-date information, but also that they create a community where they feel comfortable sharing and talking, even vulnerable things that they need to discuss or get solutions for. They feel comfortable talking to other members.
I can definitely say what you just described as a community is what I lived in the last 36 hours here, because yesterday we went to the social hour and I met Becky's team.
Yes.
And she brought half of her entire staff here.
I feel like she did, yeah.
She brought them to the packed dinner. And then I met this beautiful woman, Kim, who used to run a hair salon, and then she discovered her second career was long-term care, and she's just in love with it. And then I had her come on stage today. The people here are unique. So if someone who's never been to a convention or they're not a member of LeadingAge Nebraska, what would you tell them? How would you invite them to come here?
So how would I invite them to come here? We welcome everyone at our conventions. They might be
intimidated, so who should they start with?
They can call me anytime. Email. Everything is on our website as far as how to get in contact with us. We'll gladly talk to anyone. I love to go have coffee and meet new members or potential members, visit with them, let them know about what the benefits about LeadingAge are. We're very unique that it's both state and national organizations that are working in their, to benefit them. So we're always working to get new members and create meaningful results for them.
The specific word you said, meaningful, I feel like I heard that yesterday. Yesterday, I interviewed a brand new member here of LeadingAge Nebraska, Lynn West, and she's the CEO of a small facility, and she's only been in long-term care for 5 years.
Right.
And I said, "Why did you come here? You must have been terrified." She goes, "No, I'm a little bit nervous to be on the podcast, but I just knew that I had to find like-minded peers who could help me with the issues that I have, staffing and reimbursement and QAPI and all the acronyms that you take a while to learn."
And Lynn is wonderful. She's not afraid to pick up the phone and call. Had many conversations with Lynn, and she loyally listens in. We do a monthly member meeting. We do lots of things that are kind of like those member-only benefits that folks can take advantage of. And so Lynn is very involved in those things, and it really helps her to get to know other people. So I think a lot of times she saw other people's names, or she was able to communicate with them on Zoom. So that was really why she wanted to come to meet with all these people that she sort of knows. You know how that is? You feel like you know somebody on Zoom, but you don't really know them. So it's nice to be able to see people in person.
You know that I've been interviewing a lot of your members, but I've heard amazing things from some of your breakout sessions. I heard Dr. Julie Masters was spectacular.
She's amazing.
I heard, you're going to have to help me with her last name, Leslie, who talked about
Key.
her talk yesterday was amazing.
Yeah.
So I feel like you put on a great program, and I'll have to watch the recordings afterwards. I want to kind of transition into the essence of the people behind this organization, your board members. Tell me, when you got into this role 2 years ago, who are the people that you turn to for advice, and we could give them a shout out? And as you move forward with this association and grow its membership, what are the type of board members you look for to fulfill you and get your back?
Yeah. So we have a very wonderful board. So there's 11 people that serve on our board. This last year we actually expanded, and we have 3 committee members, chairs, that were elected as well. So we have education, advocacy, and legislative, and then membership to help us continue to grow LeadingAge Nebraska. Our board members meet on a very regular basis, and even our executive committee is who I turn to. So we did have, unfortunately, term limits, and there was some turnover with that executive committee, and we've been able to keep, as many as we can with those term limits. But even those that are no longer on our board, they're still very loyal members to LeadingAge, and so they were here with us this week and helping to celebrate everything that LeadingAge has done. Last year, Ron Ross set up the Friends of LeadingAge PAC, so that we could make sure that we're involved politically in advocating for our membership. And then Lois Jordan is our chair, and I believe you'll be visiting with her if you haven't already. Lois has been wonderful, but we have several amazing board members. Term limits are hard, though. When those positions turn over, we're always looking for new folks that we can bring in, and all of our board members are members of LeadingAge, so they all work in long-term care, and we like to really be as diverse as we can. So we like to have all levels and members of organizations. So we have assisted living members, we have skilled nursing, whether they're an RN, a CNA, the chair or the CEO of their organization. It doesn't matter to us what position you hold. What matters is that you care about long-term care in Nebraska.
And I guess I want to say, especially to anyone who's watching this who hasn't yet joined, LTC Heroes is sponsored by Experience Care, but it was sponsored by LeadingAge to come here.
Yeah.
And we'll interview anybody. So just join the association.
Yes.
And Kierstin will line you up on my on my calendar, and we'll get to interviewing and talk about your passion for long-term care. Kierstin, thank you so much for joining. I know that you got a busy rest of the afternoon.
I do.
And I think I have 4 more interviews with your team.
That's great. Thank you so much.